Everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining. Today we're talking about Matt and Abby. It's been a while since we talked about Twat and Scabby, and it's time to bring it back. They wanted a podcast. I forget the name of it, but it's called "Our Family Is Not a Product." I cannot wait to hear this. I haven't heard anything from it yet, and let's just take a look at their career and how far they've come and what they're planning on and pivoting to, which I think is back to child exploitation. I honestly believe it. So let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Before we get started, I want to talk to you today about private internet access VPN. You ever just sitting around just scrolling through cat videos all innocently, but do you realize that you're probably being spied on by your internet provider? They're probably spying on every click. You ever just scroll through something quickly and you're stay on it for a minute and all of a sudden you get a million ads for that one thing? That's them spying on you because they're watching. And you know it. Well, I've got the fix, and it's private internet access. The VPN that's like a private invisibility cloak, but for the internet. It's really cool. Picture this, you're binge watching your favorite television show where you're looking at something online about how to fix a leaky faucet, DIY tutorials, all those kinds of things that we all do every day. Well, with private internet access, the privacy is yours. There's no nosy ISPs, which is internet service providers, no hackers stealing your data, nobody taking it all and selling it to the highest bidder on the internet. Your internet life stays yours, and I think that's really important. You ever just hanging out at a coffee shop or hotel and you're using you ever just hanging out at a coffee shop or a restaurant or at a hotel and you're on their Wi-Fi? Well, it's so easy to hack those things when you're connected to them, and that's another reason why you need private internet access VPN. You want to watch that British baking show, but you can't get it where you're from, you just log into private internet access and click the country where it is, and then voila, you can watch them bake. And PIA's got servers in 91 countries, so there's not a lot you're gonna miss. You just click on the geo server, you scroll down and you press it, and that's where you are. Plus, it's super fast and it doesn't throttle your speed. 30 million downloads with an excellent rating, can't be wrong. It is versatile and ready for anything you can throw at it. We live our lives online in more ways than we even realize, and all that data is super valuable to somebody and they want it. So stop them from getting it. And because private internet access is teaming up with me, you get 83% off. Click the link below or in the pinned comment, or go to piavpn.com/thedadchallenge and get yourself a sweet deal. 83% off is amazing. That's just $2.03 a month, and you get 4 months free. And it's got a risk-free 30-day guarantee. You cannot beat this deal. It's the best deal that they have. It also has a guaranteed 24/7 customer support, which is really important to me. PIA is legit, and that's why I team up with them. If you have never used a VPN, do yourself a favor and give this one a shot. You're gonna be like, I cannot believe I lived without this forever. Okay, and it works on every device, and it's so easy to use. Click the link below or in the pinned comment and use code TheDadChallenge when you get this. Get a sweet deal. And thank you, Private Internet Access, for teaming up today and sponsoring today's video. Now let's get to it. So Matt and Abby, if you don't know anything about them, they're not the worst couple on the internet. They made a choice a little while ago to show less of their kids, although they didn't remember the old stuff, and they still platform on their pretty successful podcast a lot of child exploiters, and they're just kind of shitty people in general. Matt has been panned for trying to be a musician, and he's just, it's no good. Okay, he goes on vacations by himself. He goes they're all about themselves. Abby has been we hardly get out, and they get out more than any other human on earth. Okay, with vacations and dinners and going out every single day of the week. They're just insufferable, you know? And then the biggest scandal that they had was on the cruise ship. And they're like, look at this parenting hack. You could just leave your children in the room by themselves if you've got FaceTime on the monitor. And people flipped. So much so they had to delete it and then make an apology video, which really wasn't an apology video. And Matt has been, called out online many times for writing songs that mean he's not happy in his marriage, for doing he's aloof, I think. I don't think he means to be malicious. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. I have a little bit more respect for Abby than I do for Matt, for sure, because I think Abby is very, very, very hyper aware of who they are, and says things like, people don't want to hear shit about us, but then in the same breath she'll walk out and get veneers on her face that don't even look like her anymore, right? She's let it take her and become a vapid excuse for the person she used to be, and I know that she's very aware of it. That's why I have a little bit more respect for her, because I know that she's aware of it, and eventually I think she'll quit this shit, but they can't. They make so much money. This is a perfect example of people who hate what they do. Well, she does, but can't escape it because they make too much money doing it. Imagine being trapped in something you don't want to do because you make too much money. I mean, that's a lot of people in a lot of jobs, I guess, and I understand that. But Matt so desperately wants to be famous on the internet that he'll do anything to do it, right? Including starting a weird podcast in his bedroom where he's laying on a mattress that went for one episode and then didn't go anywhere else. After the big scandal with the kids being left in the room on the cruise ship, they did lose a lot of subscribers, they lost a lot of support, and they lost a lot of guests, I think, that would have come on their podcast. Now, they have had some pretty big guests, and they still continue to do so, but they aren't what they once were. That's for sure. And I guess we take a look at their channel here. Ooh, someone posted this. Wow, how their relationship changed. She's not made for YouTube, man. You can't prank your husband by putting your camera on a tripod when all you guys do is daily vlog. Whenever you see influencers who are out there and they are pranking each other, I just need you to know this, okay? I need you to know it. They know they're being pranked. The person being pranked probably made it up, and just because they know everywhere they go there's a camera set up on a tripod everywhere. Like, stop thinking that prank channels are real. They're not real. Pranking like unsuspecting people in public, that shit can be real, but these couples pranks, none of them are real. Okay, guys? Ridiculous. I just want to be appreciated. I don't know, I haven't scrolled in this in a long time. Apparently they got one of their kids off a diving platform because Delavlogs did this too, or I'm not sure, because Delavlogs is probably copying Matt Nabby. I don't think Matt Nabby and Delavlogs are friends. They have been on each other's podcasts, but I don't think that they talk. But I think Matt Nabby did this, which is silly. Don't do this to your kid. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe do it with your kid. I don't know. But then Delavlogs did the same thing, and I'm not sure the kid actually did jump. So they're just all they do is copy each other. Everybody just copies each other, and it's the same boring garbage content, and none of it is funny. Nobody is good at it. It's I don't understand how these people have audiences. Like, there's good stuff on YouTube. There is good content out there. Why are you watching this bullshit? It's not even funny. So they got more day in the life. So again, you're seeing their kids creep back into their lives. And the reason I'm showing you this is because these guys decided a while ago they weren't going to show their kids anymore. And then now all of a sudden you're seeing their kids a lot more than you used to, because they're running out of content and they're running out of money. Here it is. They have 8 million subscribers. The growth is pretty steady. They've only got 1 million long views this past month, 82 million shorts. Now that's quite a bit. I don't think they're making a lot of money on the shorts. You don't make a lot of money on shorts. Now that could be a couple grand, sure, which I know to a lot of people is a lot of money, but not to them. Okay, 1 million long views gives them about, I don't know, nets them about $10,000 a month. That's not terrible, depending on if they have a good CPM. Their subscribers, though, are steadily climbing. This is 10. It's weird that they're climbing in their subscribers at a steady pace at 10,000. They've gained 50,000 this month. I think, is it 50,000, 40,000 this month? Yet their views are super, super, super low. It must be that the short views are bringing them subscribers, but it's not engaging the long viewers. We are living in a world where most content now is short view content. The long form content is dying out. A lot of people aren't doing it because it's hard to do. Well, not hard, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. It's a lot harder to do than a 1 minute reel, right? Long form content, though, if you can get into it and last in it, it will be elongated because it's dying. And if we stay on here, we are the ones that get watched, right? Podcasting is definitely taking over, which is long form content. But they're not making a ton of money on here. I'd say, that's about accurate, about $10,000, maybe $10,000-$15,000 a month. Again, a lot of money to a lot of people, but not to them. They used to make bank. Even in 1 year, this channel has only made 7.8 million views, because they haven't really posted a lot, I'll give you that, but they still make good money residually on this channel, considering they don't post a ton on it. Okay, let's go to their unplanned podcast. Now this one has 806,000 subscribers, and the long views on this one are 1.2 million in the last month, which again, not a lot considering they are full-time influencers. That's 2.2 million views roughly over their 2 channels, and they make TikTok money too, they make Instagram money. So they are making decent cash, don't get me wrong, but they're not what they once were, right? Subscribers are steadily growing, 30,000 over the past month. In 1 year, they've only get 18.7 million long views on a podcast. That's not a lot, okay? So again, I think you're seeing, what's the subscriber count? So over the year, they had a big jump up here. And it went steady. So, I mean, it's a steadily growing channel, and they're making decent cash, but they're not what they once were, which is what I'm going to get to now. The podcast that they're on, I don't know who it is, but basically it says our family's on a product, and I want to see what Abby has. This is a 1 hour long podcast, and oh my gosh. Jinger and Jeremy Vuolo. Jinger and Jeremy. Ginger? With a J, maybe? It's not Jinger, right? It's Ginger. Okay, so it's Ginger and Jeremy. Here you go. I don't even know how to say this. Ginger and Jeremy. Okay, but if you look at their podcast, they make a decent amount of views. They uploaded today and then got 2,000 views. My childhood made me feel invisible. Is she a Duggar? Is that what I'm looking at? Is she a Duggar? Oh, Duggar family reunion. They're a Duggar. She's a Duggar. So she's capitalizing on her childhood as a Duggar and as a 19 Kids Accounting, and I'm cool with that. Absolutely. Make your cash, make your bank. You deserve it. You were exploited as a child, 100%. Anyway, here's our podcast. 139,000 views on this channel. Please tell me they have... they don't have freaking chapters. You sons of bitches. Put chapters in. We're going to scrub through it here. A little bit faster than normal, 120. We'll do that just to start it, kick it off. Let's talk about Matt and Abby. Go ahead and Scabby.
TikTok dances were huge at the time, so we made a YouTube video behind the scenes of us attempting viral TikTok dances. That was the title. The YouTube video is Abby and I doing these dance trends.
That's the day we downloaded TikTok.
And
we didn't have it before then. Crazy.
For whatever reason,
thanks, Jinger.
I'm
gonna call her Jinger from now on. I don't care what anybody says.
TikTok videos blew up. One of them got over 1 million views. We started TikTok in April of...
Imagine you have a corner of your home where there's this on your wall. Remember Jess Fam? Jess Fam on her wall that says Jess Fam. I'll never get over that.
By August of 2020, we had 1 million followers on TikTok.
It was the most out of character day of my life.
I was kind of like, I've never done this before. What do I do? And then it just...
He had also never dated anybody.
Yeah. Never dated.
He had never dated or kissed anyone.
Kissed each other on the first date.
Kissed each other on the first date. Yes, even among my friends, they were shocked. They were like, no way you kissed him. On the lips? Like,
on the lips. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Jeremy and Jinger.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ginger and Jeremy podcast. And we're excited because we have some guests in-house with us.
Yes, guys. You are going to know who these people are.
Yeah, because they're assholes. And they have a reputation online, especially Matt. Let's be real. Matt has the worst reputation of both of them. Abby doesn't have a major terrible. She just kind of like... I don't mind Abby, right? I think I would get along with Abby in real life. I honestly believe that. But at the same time, I feel like the internet has taken her from who she once was. And this is what so many people hate about influencers. They liked them when they were in their beginnings because they were humble and they were fun and they were, this, that, and the other thing. Abby has let the internet shape her into something she knows she doesn't want to be. And that's why I still have respect for her, because I know that she can still see it. Matt has always been the way he is, and he's never going to change. Okay, writing songs with the word library in it. Okay, but Abby, I think hopefully one day we'll see this and just walk away from it all. And I honestly, my gut tells me that about Abby.
Really
pioneer.
Well, before we introduce them, I don't really have a formal introduction.
You say they pioneered something? What did they pioneer? How to abandon your children on a cruise ship?
Drum roll, please.
They are the premier podcasters.
Yes.
No, they're not. They're not the premier podcasters. And stop giving everybody a podcast. Okay, I know I say that calling myself a podcast, but I did this way before it was cool. Okay, to everybody in the ant to have a freaking podcast. Okay, the Fairy Lad Sisters. I was gonna do that video today. I started watching. I'm like, if you are not funny or interesting in some way, stop having podcasts. Can we start a petition or something? Like, let's be real. The best podcasts in the world are by the funniest people who are most engaging, except for Call Her Daddy. I have no idea why that is the way it is. No idea. Okay, no idea. But let's be real. Good podcasts are run by comedians. I'm not saying I am. I'm just saying the ones I listen to are run by comedians.
They are.
And these people, I guarantee, are not funny. Okay, she's a Duggar.
right now.
They are top tier. They're so much fun, and we're
You don't know anything about them. You have no idea.
super excited to have them in studio.
Matt and Abby, welcome.
Oh, me! Get your hand off her leg. It's funny and weird. Why are you doing that, buddy? Trying to cut. Can you see your underwear or something?
No, you guys are something.
I hyped us up so much there.
Come
You
on.
guys will believe this.
You probably asked them to send the thing about who you are, and you probably wrote that, Matt.
With that introduction, we just wung it.
Really?
Yeah, is wung a word?
You won it. I like it.
We winged it.
That was.
Thanks, Jeremy.
I'm flattered.
Again, stop giving married couples who are Christians podcasts. Let's do that. Let's do that. So many people want to do podcasts because podcasts make a lot of money. By the way, if you ever run a successful podcast, and actually this isn't a podcast. Mine isn't a podcast. I'm a YouTube channel. Okay, I don't have an audio podcast. I did, and I love podcasting. Like, love it. One of my first episodes was I was gonna do a podcast about Reddit and just like different topics on Reddit, whatever. I called it Thread It, and the one was about payback and why people love karma. And it was, I still listen to that podcast today, and I feel like if I would have went that route, I would have been successful at podcasting. It was like, again, I was listening to the best podcasts in the world, Shittown. I was listening to Serial. I was listening to all the really, really good ones, and I was taking cues from how they created their stuff. Plus, I already knew the audio engineering side of everything, so I had it. You should, I don't know if it's still in my podcast. You should go listen to that one. It's really good. It's because I asked my friends and people around me about payback. And I asked this question. I'll ask you this question because it's a very interesting question to me. If you were murdered and you have a spouse or a significant other, would you be okay with your spouse or significant other avenging your death? Right? And I asked that question of my friends. And all the dudes, well, I think the question was, would you be okay with avenging or would you avenge? I think there was two questions. First question, would you avenge? And my guy friends were all like, yeah, I would avenge my wife's death, 100%. But the wives always, every single one of them, I think, except for one, said, no, I would not want my husband to avenge my death. My wife said that. But I'm like, well, I'm going to avenge your death anyway. That's just the way it's going to be. But it was really quite interesting. It's something I want to continue doing someday. Maybe, I don't know. But I had a really good time. Anyway, podcasting is very lucrative, which is why these people do it. But none of them are good at it. They're just not. But they use their star power, right, to bring on other guests that have a little bit of notable star power, right? And so they leverage it, and I understand why. So it's just basically rich-ass people interviewing rich-ass people on the internet. It's not really... You know who's got a good podcast is Isaac Rochelle. That guy took his fame and his notoriety and everything else and turned it into something that was actually legitimately good. I'm not just saying that because I'm going on his podcast. I'm saying that because he took something and it isn't just like blowing smoke up everybody's ass all the time. It's like legitimate, and it's called Don't Worry, I'll Ask. And he asks the hard questions sometimes, not all the time. But I like that. These people are just like, hey, let's just blow smoke up each other's ass for an hour. How about that? Let's do that. Shut up.
I'm flattered.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's so fun. Thanks for coming on our
guys are
podcast.
nice.
Jinger, stop.
You guys are in Los Angeles.
We are.
And you're at our house.
Yes,
Matt stepped in human poop today. And I said, welcome to life.
You deserved it. Matt, you deserve stepping in human poop. Update on the little home thing that's going on here. My mudder, he's an awesome guy. He's just finishing the third day of mudding, and then he's going to sand tomorrow, and then it gets painted tomorrow, which is so crazy that we're finally at the level. And then my hardwood, which should be in here today as you're watching this, I should be able to go pick up my hardwood. Then that goes in this weekend. And then I'm going to Annie's show in Toronto on the 22nd. The 23rd is when the kitchen is going in. And so I have to leave Annie's show at night, drive all the way home, which is a 4.5 hour, 5 hour drive, be here for the kitchen. Crazy how, but once this kitchen is in, man, I am so excited. So excited. I am so sick of living, walking around on just like bare heart, like OSB on my floors, having to wear shoes everywhere. The tiling's this close to being done too. So we're getting there, folks. I don't know how people live through this shit, because the other day I had enough of it. I was like, I am done cooking on the porch, and it's so hot in Canada right now. We're doing dishes on our porch because I have the laundry tub out there, because I had to pull it out of the laundry room because it's no longer a laundry room. It's like the mud room now, with like we're putting in cabinets for the kids and their coat hooks and stuff. And so we literally nowhere to wash dishes, and so we wash in a bathroom. So I put the laundry tub outside. I just found this like nozzle that I like go off the porch. It's like we're camping, and my wife loves camping. She doesn't like camping. That's why I said it like that. Okay? Nobody likes camping.
Set them right inside the door so you don't get snakes in your shoe. And then you're like, no. And I was like, okay, something happened. And Abby told me.
Well,
and
I forget
was
their
like,
time
okay,
was
thank
really
you for doing that for us because we'll check your shoes for snakes later. But we don't want that in our house.
We're just gonna leave them here.
That's nasty.
Yeah,
We'll just
I
bring
think
them
throw
for
this
you.
way. They're from Target. They were $20. I think at this point,
Just
there's so
buy
many
a new
pieces
pair.
off those shoes.
I don't know what anybody's saying because they're all talking over each other and your editor sucks.
Order a
How
pair
you
tonight.
getting the soul support you need, brother? Oh yeah, Abby, should I do an advertisement? for
Please
Cozy
do, because you have me sold.
Earth? So this was all an elaborate plan to advertise my Cozy Earth slippers.
Okay, let's get to
You
it.
guys are shoeless home.
It's always like, let's talk about bullshit for half an hour first. Just get to the questions.
Oh no! Okay, so I would love to be a shoeless household, but
What's
nobody,
that?
nobody will abide by
Nobody
the
listens to
rule.
the
Oh,
rule.
same.
Nobody. So at this point, I've just given up.
Same.
Don't do that.
You abide by the rule?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I tried for a little bit. If it would make you feel respected, I will try harder next time. But like, it is something I'm like, how many times do I need something upstairs? I just want to run, and like the kids are already in the car.
Well, do you have carpet in your house? If you have carpet, then it's no shoes. If you've got hardwood everywhere, then so be it. Just sweep it. There's no carpet in my house, and we wear our Crocs everywhere. But in the winter, obviously, you take your shoes off at the door. Canada is more of a take your shoes off the door type of country because obviously our weather is that. But if you live in like Arizona or something like that, like why would you take off your shoes? You don't need to. The reason I like the South too, hear me out, is because your cars last a lot longer. Like you can wash your car and that shit will stay looking washed for like a week. Here, that's literally impossible. Even in the summer. Okay, we have so much pollen in where we live for some reason. It's like snowing yellow. Okay, and no wonder no one can breathe out here. The pollen is literally, it's everywhere. Our bees must be like the richest bees on planet Earth, okay? Because pollen is just, I don't even know where it's coming from, man. It's everywhere. So you can wash your car. We also have super hard water mostly in Canada, right? Our well water is like ridiculously hard. So if you rinse your car with the water here, it just spots. And it's like ridiculously hard spotting, okay? So it's terrible. What else? Also, yeah, the winter, there's no way you can keep a car clean because our roads are literally salted. So they're over salted, which is for safety. But that shit gets on your vehicle and it destroys it. So your vehicles last a lot longer in the South, which is the same as your shoes, I think. Unless you step in shit, I guess.
Like, am I really gonna stop, take my shoes off? Go upstairs. Go do what I need. Go upstairs. Put my shoes back on. Go back outside.
Are you
What kind of shoes you wearing? Wear slip-ons.
going over carpet when you go upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, don't do that. You have carpet. That's gross.
Shoes on.
Carpet with shoes on, dude. It's a little nasty.
Yeah, see, that's the side where I do think about the carpet. I take my shoes
Matt probably has carpet in his bathroom.
off.
Just
bottom
briefly,
stairs
it's
if
just
I
our
can.
steps.
But if I run upstairs just one time, that's fine.
One time.
So
It's not one time, dumbass. You just said you do it all the time.
that's the challenge. We have this too. It's tough
Yeah,
to figure
it's
out what to do because
dynamic.
when you talk about
Wow,
it,
such a good, interesting podcast. Do you wear shoes in the house? Okay, let's talk about it for 30 minutes.
when you see all those reels
Thanks, Jinger.
about how disgusting it is.
Oh.
I'm sure Jinger's a nice person. I don't know if they show their kids or anything. I'm sure she's great.
I want to hear. So there's a lot in your story to go into because
Finally! Only took 38 minutes!
you guys got married very young, and I think that has to do with the origin of the podcast name.
Yeah, we
right?
actually really want to hear about.
So we want to hear that. We want to hear about
The name of the band.
the TikTok thing going viral, how all that stuff started. You guys have such an interesting life, and what's really cool is I love how curious you guys are. Like somebody once said, "Interested people make interesting people," and if you never quote, you'll never be quoted. You know, things like that. Where what they're getting at is the people who are most interesting and most fascinating are those who are interested in others. And you guys have displayed that with all the guests you have on, the conversations you have, and the things you're exploring. But we want to hear about your story. So let's start. Where do we want to start?
Oh, let's
Young
start at the
marriage,
beginning.
meeting together.
Yeah, how did y'all meet?
You want to take it?
We've heard this a million times.
I first met Abby when we were in like middle school, basically. I mean, we were 8th grade going into high school that summer. This was summer of 2013. We were in a production of Mary Poppins together.
We were theater kids.
Yeah, we were
Wow.
theater kids. And it was at this regional summer.
We know.
That's wild. Oh my goodness.
Wait, so that means he's 27.
From 27.
Yeah, he's 27. I
I'm
can do
27, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Hey,
That means
Here's the
we're
thing.
old.
Here's what's really trippy, okay? It's been 9 years since that day. Think about the fact that, like, that much time before my 18th birthday, I was 9. You know, like,
Shut up. That's stupid. Don't be dumb.
Right.
that was the midpoint. 18.
Jinger's like, You math well.
It was the midpoint of like 9 and 27, which is so. I feel so freaking old.
Spent a third of our life together.
You're
So
not a
then
third of my
that
life with this
makes us,
person.
like, ancient. So let's just not go
So you're
there.
not old, brother.
Very-
They're all having conversations at the same time.
You're a spring chicken,
so
right?
This sucks.
That's a good amount.
Having the kid obviously is a major life change, especially for the lifestyle we had. We've been doing social media, so then we are like controlling our own days, the most flexibility you could ever have, hanging out one-on-one literally all day, every day.
But then also like posting every single day about everything going on in our life, to where there was absolutely no privacy at all for our lives. And it's crazy to look back. Like
Okay, I'm gonna get to this just one question, and then I'm gonna go to their other podcast. Apparently, they just released it. People are telling me I have to watch, so let's do this.
we've had thought, okay,
We both lost our jobs. I was
yeah.
a substitute teacher, and he had an internship. And so we were like, well, we're still in college at this point. So we still had school, but we also were married. So we had bills to pay.
Don't get married in college. Can I suggest that to people? Thanks.
And so you can keep going. I just wanted to say that because that was kind of like the motivation. Like, that's why we had all of a sudden so much more time and like this weird, really unique opportunity to like go all in on.
Abby, do you know that you're wearing this? I can almost see her on your butt crack. Like, did she do that on purpose?
Something because we had a little bit of savings. So we're like, you don't have to jump to another job. Also, finding another job at that time would have been pretty challenging. And so,
yeah. So
He's looking like, I don't know any of this story.
we just lived off our savings for a little bit while we were trying to make YouTube videos.
I thought they were like poor. Living off savings? That's quite a bit of money.
And TikTok
While in school, living off savings.
chances were huge at the time, so we made a YouTube video behind the scenes of us attempting viral TikTok dances. That was the title. We gotta do this. We submit TikTok and posting those, and for whatever reason, people liked it. Dude. At the
Get
time,
to the question.
we all knew it was this Chinese app. I didn't know if those numbers were real. I
Shut up, man.
was like, is this even real? This says 1 million, but it's fake, right? I didn't know. So
That's insane.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
do you
that's
feel like
insane.
you need to be
Is
a
it
kid?
insane? Are you using that word properly? That word isn't what you think of me. It's insane.
Like, at what point did you guys realize, hey, we can actually make good money off of this?
That was a weird thing, dude. Is for me, it was always, I just wanted it so badly to be a side hustle. So it was really frustrating when I was working basically a full-time job and getting paid nothing.
Yeah.
So it was really weird how
Why are you getting paid nothing? That seems weird that you would get paid nothing in a job.
from absolutely no pay.
So that's just, think about that for a second, what he just said there. So I was just a pleb working for a little bit of money. That's him saying that. So everybody out there who works hard doing a job, you get paid nothing. They don't understand that they say these things, and that's what makes it so crazy.
We started TikTok in April of 2020, and by August of 2020, we had 1 million followers on TikTok. So by that point, there was enough people going over to our YouTube channel, because it was really hard to monetize on TikTok at the time, that we were able to support ourselves just on our YouTube channel.
Wow.
From
That's
AdSense.
But it felt real to me after like that December I graduated from college, and then I was like, okay, either I get a job right now, like I was gonna be a teacher, like either go get
Imagine going to school, getting a teacher's degree, wanting to be a teacher for children, and be like, well, you know what? Well, we got a YouTube channel now. Let's forget teaching children.
a teaching job, or like we really leaned into this. So I feel like when I just decided to just like not apply for a teaching position was when I was like,
A
all right,
waste of a degree.
I guess this is what we're doing. We'll ride this out for as long as we can. And we had like the most flexibility you could have at any stage of life. I was like, down the line, we'll probably have house payments, we'll have kids, we'll have all these other things. Like we had it was so low risk
And their kids have been born on the internet, by the way. That's crazy.
at that point to like enter it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the perfect
Get to the
storm, like,
commodity
I don't know,
thing!
everything to happen. And it still doesn't feel real though at times, I will be honest. Like even years down the line now, I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool that this is like what we get to do.
Yeah.
Here, I'll translate that for you. It doesn't feel real because we're making literally more money than like a surgeon makes. We make more money than like rock stars. Okay, they make an insane amount of money. Okay, people on the internet make lots of money. Money. It's like tons. And she's like, what she's trying to say, there's like, even to this day, I cannot believe we make this much money for being this shitty.
It's interesting, like the TikTok and the content that you initially blew up on there was no like insight into your personal life. Like for you to go and there's a song and you guys dance and people love it.
Yeah.
When did it transition to you opening the door to the world into your life and marriage?
Because we wanted to make money and we were running out of shit to talk about.
Which eventually led to a podcast, which is now that's like a 45-minute to 2-hour deep conversation where people are listening in. But what was that?
So
switch.
It's funny because we were sharing our personal life on YouTube, but nobody cared in 2019 when we were getting 100 views, if that.
Are those videos still up?
They are still up.
yeah.
You can go back and watch them. They're all still there.
We got to clip them in here.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
you totally should, dude. All right, we're here. We're in Chicago. We're doing a vlog. I'm handling this camera with one hand, even though I wanted to bring my tripod, but Abby told me not to. She thought it was weird. I will say,
She's so hyper aware of how stupid they look in public.
it did look weird. People look at that. But here we are. But yeah, nobody cared. And for some reason, when we started going viral on TikTok, people started to care more and more.
Because you got lucky and you gained an audience by getting lucky.
And then the wedding video that I put out before TikTok was ever a thing, that started to get viewership because people thought it was cool that they could watch our wedding video, which I edited myself and my cousin recorded on the camera that we used to start our first our YouTube channel. So I think what we noticed
His cousin's punching the air in it. That could have been good. He abandoned his cousin when he got his own fame.
early on was people really connected to our vulnerability and authenticity. And so like, this is
Is doing TikTok dances considered vulnerable and authentic? Is that what we're considering that to be now? Because that's weird. Because it's vapid and shitty is what I see it as.
cool. Like, there's a community of people that just like us for us. And I guess we'll just keep doing that. We'll just keep being us and putting out videos about our life, moving to Hawaii, eventually finding out we were
They got kicked out of Hawaii, remember?
pregnant with
I
our
forgot about that.
first kid, and then moving to Arizona, buying
That's where they got real big. The pregnancy kicked them off into like stratosphere of cash, right? And then when they capitalized on it and made all the money, then they all along they knew it was wrong. And this is kind of what I like about Abby. All along they knew it was wrong, but they still did it until they realized, okay, we can't do this anymore. They did it to the point where like we just can't do it anymore, and now they're kind of flirting with it again.
house. We kind of documented all of that. It's like we have this documentary of our life on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I feel like
It's not cool, Jinger. It's not. It's child exploitation.
you
And you should know better. You were a product of massive amounts of child exploitation. For some reason, I'm trying to understand. Didn't they not get paid? Dad got paid $19-20 million, like made so much money, and didn't give his kids any of the money. Right? Am I correct about that? Like, you were a product of TLC's literally just dismantling your entire family for cash, and you're that's so cool that you exploit your kids.
many years down the road we'll be able to look back at those and like have the best home video footage ever.
Stop calling it home. It's not home video footage, okay? It's internet YouTube footage. Home footage is you pull it out at home and you watch it.
Of like just being real.
They're not real. Nothing you see on the internet when it comes to content that is made with cameras is real. And we've seen it multiple times, and got that new documentary that I still haven't watched, and I will. But like basically like, let's do that again. Let's do that again. Let's making their kids. It's not real. Nothing that you see in any family vlog is real or authentic. It's not the first time they turn the camera on. Some people do stupid shit where they're like, you'll see them start the video off like, hey, say that thing that you said again, because they weren't rolling at the time, and then they made the kids do it again. None of it is real. Okay, none of it is real.
Just yourselves, like when you interview guests on your podcast or share your life on Instagram, it's just the daily stuff. And some people would think, oh wow, like that's so mundane, the things that you're doing, you know,
It
like
is.
your kid colored on the wall. I saw like yesterday on Instagram, and you're like, what do I do? And so it's like those
like
little
Matt's
moments,
pleas for help.
right? It's so great. You're like,
My
"Please
favorite
help me."
genre of your social media content is Matt pleading for help.
I love it. It's so normal. It's like everybody can relate to it because that happens to them too. It's like, you know, those moments are sweet. And at the same time, I imagine, like you said, you have those conversations. At what point do you say, okay, I love sharing my life? And then are there those moments where you're like, okay, let's just keep this moment just for us as a family as well?
All the time.
Totally. I've been talking.
No, I like what you're saying.
I want to hear you talk. You're a way better talker than me.
No, but I think that's something that we've had to learn, obviously. Or I shouldn't say obviously,
Yeah, her voice. It's starting to get to me.
but I feel like through error, we haven't done, like there's been times where like, yeah, like Matt said, like that was probably a little too soon, like to talk about something. And I think we had a guest on, John Deloney, a few weeks ago on our podcast, and he said something really that I resonated with, because like this is what we've been doing, but we didn't really know how to put words to it. But like more recently is like not talking about things until it's like we've resolved them, healed from them, whatever it is. Because I think it's good to be vulnerable. I mean, I feel like that word is overused in a way.
See, she gets it. she says the thing and she knows it and she realizes it, but then just doesn't care after that. You know, she gets it. She hears herself. She understands how silly and dumb it is, but then just can't help herself.
But like the sense that like we're not putting on any kind of front, and like we're not also going to. Social media gets criticized a lot for being like, you know, highlights reel. So you have to do that, find that balance.
It is. It's not even a highlight reel. It's fake. It's faked highlights. It's not even real highlights. It's fake. It's content that is curated to fake what you look like, and you're not even any of that thing. Especially if you have kids, man. Like, it's just not true. None of it's true.
Yeah.
And but also there's like certain times where it's like, okay, if your marriage is more important, then like, you know, you have to be ready. You have to be right within yourselves before you're like putting this out there for everyone.
None of that made sense.
And I think we've made mistakes in that area before. And I feel like now we have a really good system for communicating those things. And so now it's like a really quick thing. It's like, oh, what are we gonna talk about? Okay, this is I don't know. I think it's a little too soon. It's like, all right, move on. Or we even like said it by accident. It's like, okay, great. We have the power of editing. I didn't feel I said that was okay to talk about. But in hindsight, I feel like it's a little bit like, maybe toes the line. Or we can ask our friends, be like, does this seem a little bit... So we have a lot more like...
Your friends, who are also shitty podcasters.
Open conversation, dialogue around those things now. And yeah, I feel like people would be shocked that I would say I feel like my personal life is rather private, but also everyone has their own gauge, right? Like I'm a pretty open person in general, but I don't feel like I feel like we have a pretty... What we want to be private is private, for sure.
Yeah.
That's an interesting dynamic with reality TV and now social media is not making your relationships, your marriage, your parenting a commodity, because in this world you are the product.
Totally.
Like she grew up, and to the
As a product.
watching world, she's a product. So all of the companies are going, we want.
And you've leveraged her name here on this podcast because no one knows who you are. I don't think. Maybe he was on the show as the married guy. This is called the Ginger and Jeremy podcast, but Ginger has said 6 words so far. So still leveraged as a product, by the way.
Advertise with the Duggars because of all the eyeballs. And so if something happens that's dramatic with an 11-year-old, that's a bad attitude. That's going to be good on TV. Well, then all of a sudden these relationships become commodity and it becomes income. And so then you're wrestling with, oh man, that'll make good TV. But what you're saying, that'll is a relationship, you know, or a conversation or a real life issue that is your life. And so how have you guys thought through, like, and
This question could have been 4 seconds long.
you said it really well just now, Abby, like the conscientiousness thinking to guard that. But there's an aspect where you go, we don't want to sell our relationships. We don't want to sell our life.
That's literally what they're doing.
And yet there's a motivation, you know, at least, you know, well, as we look at why we do what we do.
Just get to the question, man!
They're the hope of Jesus, or we want to
Oh, they're still quiverful, are they?
encourage others who are going through similar things. So there's good motivation, but then there's this balancing act of saying, but we don't want to turn things into a product that shouldn't be.
just say the shit, man.
Does that make sense?
That makes
No, none of what you said makes sense.
sense. Yeah, I think initially for us, the goal that I wanted to share, I don't know, your intentions could be different, but yeah, there's an aspect of wanting to get to do something creative together, and it would be a lot of fun to make videos. I think making videos is a lot of fun, but
No. You ready for the translation? We like to make a shit ton of money. And if we could make a shit ton of money and not be famous, we would do that. Not whenever you hear these people like, we just want to create things. And you want to make money. That's all you want to do. Shut up.
I wanted to share our story of being the rebels, being the 2 teenage kids that decided to get married in college. And
Isn't it funny that that's the rebels now?
Yeah.
One of those by the book people.
I don't know. I mean, like none of our friends were even dating at that time. So I was like, I want to share this story. It's unique. And then, okay, let's share the story of 2 people that have lived in the Midwest their entire lives, moving 4,000 miles away to an island where they
Where they get kicked off because they made T-shirts that said "Aloha, dude" or something. They were so hated.
drive an hour to go get groceries.
They got kicked out of Hawaii, basically.
My experience.
They got
with
driven out.
hobbies, that was the hardest one. Like I hadn't really thought through my life past moving to Paradise and being married with my best friend. Like I hadn't really thought about parenthood, and so I'm like documenting everything as it's happening. And just until recently, I've really started to just not share as much and to take more time for me and have more privacy and be like, okay, who am I now? What's my identity? Like, how do I be the best dad for my kids? Who is Matt Howard as a father? And I've been figuring that out because, you know, I
Here's who you are. You left your kids in a damn cruise ship stateroom when you went to dinner with your family. Oh man, I don't think Matt really cares as much about the hate, but she hates the hate. She hates it.
I want to continue to put out good things into the world, but then I also need to protect myself and protect my family at the same time.
You did it wrong.
I love that. Yeah.
Do you love it, Jinger?
How have you guys got to do that with your kiddos? Because I think on your social media,
Don't say kiddos.
you share more so like the back of their head, right? Like not as many close-up shots of their face. And like, how have you sought to juggle all that? Because it is different once you have kids and then you're thinking, wait, like how
So this is called Our Family is Not a Product. Does she say it?
are we going to steward this platform? Like, what do we want to show people? Because it's sweet to like show precious moments with your kids
No, it's not. It's exploitation.
that you're having. And then also there will be times where it's like,
And the audacity of her, who grew up exploited. Like, I mean, I guess it's her story to tell and her reality, but like, you were exploited and you're like cool with it. That's weird to me.
meltdowns and like chaos and everybody's about to pull their hair out. And so how have you guys juggled that like with kids, because you are filming so much and you're sharing so much of your lives?
Ultimately, we had like so many conversations between the two of us about it, and it's always evolving too, because I feel like nothing is like staying stable online either. So it's like this is a continuous conversation, but like ultimately we want people to follow our pages for us if they choose to follow, and not because of our kids, for several reasons. And also I think people would be surprised, like it may seem like it's like we're always recording, but the truth is like it's very, very structured. Like the amount, like when is like, we literally call it work.
Like.
Obviously it doesn't look like work.
When she doesn't know what she's about to say, she says like a lot.
The most like for people working like a 9 to 5, we have like our work hours, and then we have and usually our kids are not present, and then
How are your kids not present? They're toddlers.
they're in the house, but they're not like because we don't show them. So it's very structured. So it's like really clear. Like, okay, 5 o'clock, it's like dad and mom come down the stairs, and like I spend all morning with them. So it's like we have their hours, and there's nothing outside. Like they're never. How do I explain it?
Holy shit, you suck at this, Abby. Stop it.
Oh, you're doing a great job. I mean,
No, she's not doing a great job. Don't lie to her. Don't lie to your wife, man.
I mean, used to we didn't have
Structure to it.
structure to our days, and now
Or boundaries.
we do.
So good.
So
Talk about boundary.
Like, we regret having them on the podcast.
Yeah.
What do you mean boundaries? Because you work at home,
Yeah.
right? Or you have a studio or something. But are you talking about boundaries with your phone? Are you talking about boundaries with
Yeah.
your mental engagement? Are you talking about boundaries with like playtime with kids? What do you mean by boundaries?
We really.
We have our parents to take care of our kids so we can go skiing.
It's like when we're not working, we're not working. Like it's really hard.
Wow, that's a lie.
The way Matt's brain operates, it's really hard to like dabble in anything. Like it's like he's all in or all out. And for me, I'm like, I just don't want my kids to see me like, I don't have to. If I'm able to put this boundary up, then I for sure want to like have the phones away. We don't just like have cameras out. Like they would break them 1,000%. But like all that stuff is away. And then like if
It's a lie.
we need to revisit it after bedtime, we can. But
But you know we can see your channel, right?
actually, even now we don't do that either, and it's just us time. Like so.
How many times have we seen them wake their kids up in their blackout tents? Does she know that we can see her content, right?
So I think, boundaries means like literally no phones. We'll text like family members and friends and stuff, like send a text or like FaceTime people when the kids are around, but it's
So
not
the phones are out. Is that what you're saying? Okay. No phones are out, except for when the phones are out all the time.
like we're like making videos or like
These people don't know what they're saying, and it's crazy to me.
stuff like that. It's been really, really refreshing, honestly, because it felt like for a while, social media can feel all consuming if you let it be, and it felt good to like reclaim like some.
Someone had a really good point on my post about about being a YouTuber, and I'm saying I got lucky and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, I find this really easy to do because I can just turn a camera on and talk. And they had someone had a really good comment. They said, Josh, it's easy for you because you are who you are on the internet, off the internet, and like I'm this person all the time. So it's easy for me to turn a camera on and just be myself, right? I just talk to you, I say what comes out of my brain, out of my face hole, and you get what I get. Right, you get what I say, and I don't even know what's coming out of my face hole the next 10 seconds. It's how my brain works. She's like, it's easy for you because that's who you are. It's hard for these people consider this job hard because they are always faking who they are, and that can be really, really exhausting. And I thought that was such a good point, because when you have to fake everything about your life and who you are and create content that's just always pushing fake shit, that's it's just never real, it's never authentic, it never just comes and happens. I do understand why they say this life is hard. That does make sense. Because they're living their life faking everything. And that has got to be exhausting. So I will give them that. Faking your life for the internet, it's got to be exhausting. Because you never get to be your real self.
Boundaries.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jinger. That's
Like a
amazing.
year now, so we're really, that's great.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
How did the Unplanned podcast start?
Very similar story
We were
there.
pregnant by surprise, unplanned pregnancy, and that happened to be
It's weird that we were unprotected sex and we got pregnant. Like, who does that, right? Isn't that weird?
the same time that we were wanting to start a podcast.
They're lying about that, by the way. Because they made their big bucks through pregnancies online.
We didn't really know, like, what should we call the podcast? What's the podcast
They're living with that secret, too. And they eats her alive.
going to be about?
Remember Sam and Nia, when he dipped the piss stick in the toilet, he's like, look, you're pregnant, surprise. That was a lie, right? And they lived with that lie and got caught eventually. They're lying. You cannot believe anything an influencer ever says on camera online, ever. If they say it's a surprise, it's not a surprise. They're like, when K&T did the pregnancy test, and they're like, look, he already knew. Okay, he already knew.
And then
They're lying to you.
that happened, and we're like, well, I guess we could just talk about what's going on in our crazy life right now, because we did not expect for this to happen. So I think you came up with the name. You were the one that came up with the name of the Unplanned podcast.
Yeah.
It was Abby. Yeah.
Good.
And
Terrible name.
honestly, the motivation was along similar lines. We were coming to the point where our firstborn was like 6 months old, and we were like, I don't know. We were starting to like think critically about what it would look like to have a career on social media that is about our lifestyle and with a kid. And like, I think it was like, okay, we need to slow this train down because we don't really. There's a lot of unknowns here. And
I like that about Abby. This is what drew me to Abby initially, and that's why I like her more than I like Matt. Because she's having an honest conversation right now with this. And she said, we were looking at this critically. She started looking at it early and like, holy crap, this is bad. And she saw that. And she's saying it. And I think she's the one that is the reason they don't, because Matt doesn't give a shit. And we see that. Matt runs it. Matt wants the fame. He wants to be the singer. He wants to be adored and loved. Like, he is a theater kid at heart. Have you ever met a theater kid that doesn't want to be adored? Have you ever met one? It doesn't exist. Okay, theater kids love attention. He is a theater kid. And he doesn't give a shit how he got there and what he did to get there. And they did exploit their children to get where they were. They do not have the fame that they have right now and enjoy the wealth that they have without exploiting their children. So you cannot ignore that. Okay? And even though they stopped, so quote unquote, not really, but they did, directly, blatantly face on doing it, they still do it. Okay? And so, but she was catching it. She was. And that's why I have more respect for Abby than I do for Matt. Matt's a twat.
And so then we're like, what's a way that we can still share our lifestyle? Because we loved the community we had built doing that.
Community.
And we felt there were so many
We loved the money we made doing that. That's what she's meant to say.
benefits from it. And we felt so much
Community.
encouragement from it. So like,
How can you love a community you're never going to, that's full of strangers? What do you mean you love our community? You don't know these people. That's weird when people say that. I love my community. You don't know any of these people. They could be murderers. You don't know. They could litter. They could leave their grocery cart and not put it back to the corral. You don't know these people. Your community. F off.
we have that same type of community and same space
Why is he just holding her leg when she's talking? It's weird to me.
that has that like separation, that degree of separation. And I feel like we found that with like podcasting.
Yeah.
And it's been such a blessing in that way because like you talk, you have a conversation, and then done. Whereas like you two up to that point had been like,
I don't think they talk about the cancellations, which is like, that would be a real good buy. I would want to hear the answers to this shit.
you're showing your entire day.
They tell Jinger and Jeremy that these are the off limits questions. 100%.
Right.
So yeah, it was really, and then we were like, this is such a fun time too because we're about to have a whirlwind with having two babies 13 months apart.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear that from you guys because you literally have your parents who live with you full time and take care of your children. So stop. I hate when influencers who have like wealth and abundant wealth and have like nannies and night nurses and family that lives with them and have 100% help with their children. They're like, life is hard. You got to stop. And Abby, you know that you have to stop doing that. Okay, and then we don't get out very often, and then someone like makes a highlight reel of how many times you get out. You got to stop. You're not a victim here. Okay, if you're gonna be doing unprotected things, you're gonna have the life is gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But you guys don't deal with life the way other people deal with it. So I don't want to hear it from influencers like our life, having 2 kids under 2. You don't have a real job, so shut up. You make millions of dollars by filming an hour a day. Okay, so get wrecked. Okay, nobody wants to hear about it, and you have literal 100% support. You guys can go on vacations. Like, how many times have I been on vacation this year without their kids? Okay, who can say that they can do that? Who in the regular world can actually do that? Only the wealthiest of us all.
And the more we opened up about like this happening in our lifestyle, I felt like we were crazy. I was actually really afraid to tell our friends and family that we were pregnant with our second child. We waited a minute because I was like, they're gonna be judging us.
Yeah, because you're irresponsible.
Because I'm low-key judging us. Like, this is really close together. Like, okay. They're like, this is
They're gonna think
normal.
you're just gonna have 19 kids.
No, literally. I'm like, please, no.
You were on track.
Yeah, so we were off the train now. But
they're not off the train because they just released a podcast saying we're planning our 3rd kid.
Yeah, but then the more we talked about it, they're same, 15 months apart, 13 months apart.
So she was so scared about telling her family, but they had no problem doing a video about how, oh, look, 2 kids at 6 months, we're pregnant at 6 months. Like, hear what she is saying and understand this for a second. Scared to tell your family, but you're not scared to tell millions of people on the internet and capitalize on it. So and that's why I know that they're lying. Okay? They're lying. Because in their heads, they're like, okay, how do we, get something that's going to go viral? Well, let's get 2 kids get pregnant at 6 months. You get a newborn at home and we get it pregnant. Like, this is planned, guys. This stuff. And then they came with an unplanned podcast. Like, think about this for a second. There is just no way they're telling you the truth. Okay. And if you're scared to tell your family, but not scared to tell millions of people, that's all the evidence I need.
And they're like, people are sending messages of hope. They're like, now they're 21 and 22 and they're best friends. Like, it was really cool. And so that was like a really fun, exciting way to kick it off too. And we're like, we knew we were going to need a change too, because with having 2 little kids, we're like, something's going to have to shift.
Yeah. Like moving in your parents?
Right. I was just thinking, like, as open and vulnerable as you are, which I think is a reason so many people follow. I mean, people have their reasons, but all the different reasons. But one of them has to be just how open and vulnerable you are. But has that ever...
They're not open and vulnerable.
Backfired on you guys? Have you
Stop saying this about influencers.
felt like, man, I wish we weren't so open?
Oh, so many times. so many times. I think it that really started to happen probably about 2 years ago. It was like the first time that happened. I mean, yeah, I think just like when you're a little guy and like you're up and coming in anything, I think people just want to root for you. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm watching sports, I want to root for the underdog.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to see
That's stupid. You don't have a team that you're rooting for? Just so you're not really a sports fan.
the little guy win, and then once the little guy wins, they're no longer the little guy, they're the winner, and then you want to see someone like beat them. You want to see
That's not how sports works. You have a team and you want to see your team win. That's silly, Matt. You don't watch sports.
the person who used to be the little guy lose. And so I think after we had success and all that, I just think there were probably people out there that didn't like us. And also, I think...
So Matt's like, we're not the little guy anymore. Now that we're big, we want to lose. That's not... Nobody thinks that way. Matt. Maybe the changes that they saw in you were like, holy crap, this guy's a twat. Like, singing songs about how his wife's not enough anymore, and like their pregnancy things, and like him being mad about Father's Day landing on a birthday or whatever the heck it was. I forget what his birthday on Father's Day or something. Like people saw that you guys were absolutely garbage, and you guys think that you're not. That's the disconnect and the dichotomy here. Okay, you are actually not cool people. You're not at all, but you think you are, and you're like, why can't people just see how cool we are? Because you keep letting slip who you really are. And when those moments actually come out, people are like, we don't like that. It's not that you got big and they want to see you fall. It's that you got big and then you felt like you were above it all. That's the thing. And then you started releasing who you really were and thinking that you can get away with it. That's what happened.
Well, it didn't even represent how you truly felt, but it's just like,
yeah. And so
No, it did.
Hours of you talking.
The Bible says, with many words, transgression is unavoidable.
There you go.
So one of our prayers is, as we're sitting here doing podcasting,
These people don't want to hear that shit.
we talk for an hour and a half. That's a lot of words.
Yeah.
We say, Lord, help us not to say dumb stuff, or help us to speak in a way that edifies people.
Well, so far, not good at all. Maybe you should pray harder.
yeah.
Encourages, or the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, knowing that you're Christian makes me more upset that these people are like encouraging child exploitation, because like the Bible is so dead clear on and doing things to children like this and taking advantage of children. Like dead clear. There's no like gray area. They're like, oh, maybe it's Old Testament. It's not, man. Kids are the most vulnerable of our society, and the Bible is very clear on how we should treat our children, okay? And I know that the Bible didn't have vlogging back in the day, but I promise you, in this, it is an abusive thing to exploit children, and to abuse children is a bad thing according to the Bible. The end. It's not gray, guys. It's absolutely true, and that's why laws are literally being made right now to protect children, because parents aren't doing it. And these people sitting here trying to proclaim Jesus in the same breath where they're cool with child exploitation, just think about it, bro. Jeremy, think about it, please. Sounds like you know your theology. Sounds like you've been in church your whole life. Maybe you're a pastor. I don't know. But you sound like you know what you're talking about, but do a little research on this. And I hate saying that. Trust me, when people are like, do your research. Do your research in the Bible about what it says about children and what happened to your wife's siblings on this show, where they were completely exploited in every single way, including what Josh did to his siblings that they tried to hide and bury. Like, just consider for a second that you're wrong and do a little bit of research and maybe do some prayer and fasting about this situation. I promise you, you're going to come on the other side if you honestly, truly put your heart into it and ask Jesus to guide you in the direction of the answer. You're going to get it. And everybody out there, and there's so many damn Christians who are influencers who are like, Jesus, I'm proclaiming Jesus, at the same time exploiting children. You cannot be a Christian and exploit children. Well, I mean, you can. You can love Jesus and do stupid shit all the time. I get that. But what I'm saying is that you cannot be a professing Christian and be like, I'm a professing Christian. I'm out here claiming the Lord, but at the same time exploiting children. Like, it just doesn't, you can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Cool. Okay.
Even with like the best of intentions, I think what you're saying too is like there will always be critics. And
There's
so,
always angles.
Yeah.
there have been situations where you're like, oh, like that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. Or you posted something and you're like, I wish I could just take this down right now.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I mean, like with that being said though, I think one of my regrets was we basically publicly talked about an argument we had in our marriage right after the birth of our second child. And
You got huge hate for that. It's like in the hospital, he was being a dickhole.
there's things that I did then that I like regret. And also just perception can get so messy when people are like, the he said, she said thing happens, and then something
It's not perception. It's reality.
that you did can turn into something that's way bigger than it actually was.
No. The outrage for what he did for his wife, and I think it was the first pregnancy, and how he was acting in the hospital or second, I'm not sure which baby it was, but it was legitimate. Okay, he was being a complete and utter diva tool bag, and it was crazy.
And so I just wish that we would have probably had more privacy in that situation. But
Don't get it. You don't get to choose when you want privacy anymore.
I was thinking about, hey, if we're vulnerable with this, maybe it'll encourage other people to know that they're not alone.
Sure.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard an influencer say. Maybe it'll encourage you to what? Put it on the internet and tell everybody? What are you trying to get? You're not alone because I'm an asshole, so you also can be an asshole to your wife. Like, what are you trying to encourage people to do here? Like, you're not encouraging. You got hate for a good reason. It's not encouragement.
I will say the amount of people, so it's like, yes, there's that side of it, but the amount of people, I literally have face-to-face conversations
No more water in that bottle there, bro. It's just spit now.
with so many women about that episode specifically, because the postpartum, I always say, me on day 2 after having a baby, my record shows I'm going to be psycho. Like, it's just, that's what the record is going to show, and
Okay, Matt, stop.
it's going to be the emotions, like, here and there and here and there, and specifically around breastfeeding, like, it's going to bring out a level of crazy in me that I didn't even know I was capable of, and it's just, that's history.
How about getting a hold of yourself?
That's history. It's probably going to be the future. You know what I mean? Like, and so the amount of women are like, literally, me and my husband had that exact same thing because we both had the same goal.
I must have like the most amazing wife in the world because I don't deal with any of this bullshit. My wife is just a normal person. I think most of you are normal. Like, when they're out here being like, look, I'm just gonna be a crazy bitch because I just had a baby. Like, I mean, just it just makes me feel lucky when I watch these people and their behaviors and like that they blame it on everything else except for themselves. Like, I'm a lucky dude then, I guess. My wife was never a bitch ever once during pregnancies, during breastfeeding, during I just got lucky, man, I guess. I don't know, because like these people are out here talking about like, it's like they think that's endearing. It's not, man. And then Matt's out there, and what she's trying to do is protect Matt from being an asshole. And he was an asshole, and it was called out, but she doesn't want to accept that he's an asshole. Then she has to deal with a different type of reality.
obviously, not that we're like hashing out this thing, but like this is probably the thing that we think about the most. And been like,
Oh, yeah.
could have done that differently. But is like you both want to see that your child is fed and safe and happy and content. We both had those same goals, and we had complete opposite methods for going about that, and like direct.
Oh, the breastfeeding thing. That's right. He got hammered for talking about breastfeeding, and she got super upset about it. Oh yeah, that was crazy, insane. These people are just wangs.
And you can't predict how that's going to go until the baby is out, and you're like, okay, they're hungry, they're crying, and the way that the cry.
What did he say about it? Oh, because he was upset. He's like, look, it's too much trouble. Let's just bottle feed. And she was freaking. But Abby is a freaking weird diva when she is. Because remember when he brought her water with not enough ice in it, and she freaked on him? Like, again, I feel like the luckiest man, because my wife would never do some shit like that, ever, in a million years.
Will bring like light up reactors in both of you, because it's like your child is needing something, and they're sending an alert system to you. So, yes, in hindsight, for our marriage sake, yeah, probably that was like not the best move. Actually,
so when an influencer says something like this, when they're trying to just be also, that maybe wasn't the best thing ever, what they're really meaning to say was that was an absolute bombshell that almost destroyed us. That's what she's saying right there. Well, it might have been, there could have been a different way. No. That means that when they're in, an influencer sitting there in a chair saying something like that and like just trying to brush past it, it means it was absolutely mind-bogglingly huge in their life. That's what she's saying there.
Certainly would have done that differently in hindsight. But I will say the good side is I've had so many good conversations with other women that made me feel way less crazy. They're like, oh my gosh, no, but day 2, or when it comes to breastfeeding, or when it comes to like
I
the
don't
baby.
care. Get to the commodity
they're
thing.
Waiting for something to jump on. But then you have so many people who, aside of when you
I think you would
tough.
testify to like some of the hardest moments for Ginger, whether it's writing a book or whether it's a podcast, right? And then
Matt and Abby go on this podcast, and literally these people have said 8 words.
when you hear the stories of how people are helped,
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think there's that side of when you open up and share, there's so many comments. Like you'll have the haters who come out. They're always there waiting for something to jump on. But then you have so many people who can relate. And I think that's where it's tough to find that balance when you're in the public space, because you don't want to only show the good, because then people are like, goodness, like, is your life just perfect? And there's a side where we need more reality, where people are able to step into your life and see that.
Why do you want people to step into your life? For what reason? To what? Edify what?
Hard moments as well, because then they do know that they're not alone. And but there's that healthy balance, right? Like
You're not alone if your husband's a dickhead.
you struggle and wrestle through it every day.
I like what you guys said about resolution earlier, like
Yes.
because the counterbalance to, or the reaction I should say, to the picture perfect Instagram, like we've all had those friends where you look at their Instagram and you go, oh my goodness, this couple is aspirational. Like, well, if only, and then you get the post that says we're divorcing, and you go, what?
He's right about that.
Like, I thought you had the picture perfect life. From everything I was seeing, you guys had the perfect life. Well, clearly that was just this facade. And so people,
And it always is, though. And yours is too, Jeremy and Jinger. So is Matt and Abby's. It's all a facade, everybody. Everything is a facade that you see online, and it's so unhealthy because people are like gauging, and it's starting to affect humanity, to be honest with you, okay? Because women who follow other women influencers are married or in relationships, and they see that it's so perfect. And then when they go to another piece of content where the actual married couple is actually doing normal married couple things, read the comments. Like if it's not perfect, picture perfect, they'll be like, get divorced, do this. Yeah. Like they're the ones who are creating this picture perfect online persona, which is fake, by the way, is affecting people who are now like, this is what I want. If I can't get this, I don't want to be in a relationship. Which is ultimately, I know this is maybe stretching a little bit, but ultimately in the end is affecting our like birth rates, because people aren't getting married anymore. Men just don't want to deal with that shit. They're like, I'm not perfect, and there's no way I can give you perfect, and what you're seeing online is impossible to give you. And all these women are out there, and men too, not as much, but women are more influenced by other women than men are by men influencers, and I think that's just the way it is. It's created this weird world where women are like, if I can't have what I'm seeing on Instagram, then I don't want it. And people are just foregoing relationships and marriage in general, and it's getting crazy. And I'm not even kidding you. Social media is the decline of the human population. Comment below if you think I'm way off on that, because that's where my brain is going there. Okay, we are so toxic in the world of social media that we are showing such fakery that it's actually influencing people to be like, well, that's what I want, when that doesn't exist, because we're humans. It doesn't exist. And then when someone tells a story like, and when these women get on and complain about their husbands like not doing the dishes, and one woman's like, I almost divorced my husband because he didn't put mayonnaise on my sandwich and shit like that. Women are like, yes, queen. Like, like, get into reality, because when reality hits these people who grew up on social media and they've been influenced by this type of content, it is going to be even worse in the next decade than it is now. Okay? Because now we're coming into a decade of people who are going to be in marriage age who grew up completely on social media. My generation, we grew up before it. So we were in high school when it transitioned into like MSN Chat, then ICQ, then MySpace. Like, we had a life before it. We're into that generation now that are getting married and having kids, if they are at all, that grew up in social media. And it's going to get crazy and worse.
On that and go, don't just give us the perfectly curated photos. We want what's real. So then you swing the pendulum and then you just get what's real. And so people start like boasting in the mess. We're just a mess. And everything's a mess. And look how real we are. You go,
oh, yeah.
That doesn't help, because we don't want to be a mess. We want to get out of the mess. We want redemption here. And so I like what you guys said about, hey, we're not going to discuss it until there's resolution. That'll actually help someone.
I think we would be a good place now to talk about not like rehashing our disagreement, but I think there's a healthy way to be like, yeah, we were not seeing eye to eye at this time. Like, it was a hard time. My hormones were all over the place. And I think we're at a good place now, whereas like...
Guys, you don't also have to blame your hormones because Matt wants you to blame your hormones. Maybe you could just blame Matt for being a dickhead too. That could be it. It doesn't have to be your hormones. Matt could have just been a flaming wanker. That could have been it too.
At the time, it's hard to know when you're in it. You're like, wait, I'm going through...
Abby has this problem where she justifies Matt's behavior by blaming herself. That's what I'm starting to pick up on. Does that make sense? So Matt is a complete wanker when she's pregnant and all these kinds of things, when he's doing things wrong and he's messing up and he's singing songs about how she's not enough anymore and all this stuff. And she's like, you know what? It's not him. It's me being pregnant. She's got that's weird that she does that, and you gotta stop doing that, because Matt can take responsibility for being who Matt is too. It's not all you and your hormones doing it. Can't blame your hormones for Matt's behavior.
And I didn't even don't quite realize it. Yeah. I feel like now we would be in a good place to talk about that, and it would be okay.
But I bet you their periods match up, Matt and Abby's.
Yeah, because I do feel like it can get performative in both ways, and that's something we really, really actively avoid.
When Ginger, speaking of postpartum, went through a long time of postpartum depression, really, right? And in the midst of it, those months, neither of us know exactly how it's going to resolve. I'm trying to help her. She doesn't know where she needs help. Well, 2-3 years on, we can talk about it in a way that's
because I could talk about it much, because I was just so.
I mean, this is cliche, but I wouldn't change it.
Social media, these decisions to enter that world, to be vulnerable, to
open your life
up, like going back and talking to 21-year-old Matt.
Yeah.
Now, would you say, hey, make those same decisions? Do you like?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, right? Yeah. So looking back, you can see every single thing you did along the way that was wrong. But I mean, this is cliche, but I wouldn't change it.
You're lying. You just said not 5 minutes ago, and Matt said, well, maybe we did those things wrong, and we could change it if we could. You're lying, Matt. You wouldn't change the fact that you left your children in a bunk in a cruise ship alone. You wouldn't change the fact that you sang songs about how your wife isn't enough anymore. You wouldn't change the fact you got canceled for the Hawaii thing, and then your behavior and getting mad about having your birthday fall on Father's Day. You wouldn't change any of those things. You'd be like, no, I'm glad I did that. Are you serious? And you want to be real on the internet and honest? Because if we're honest, we'd be like, there's a million things we could have changed. And yeah, I would love to change that. That would have been an honest answer, but you're lying.
I think you can just go into this state of insanity trying to think through every single little thing you can.
That's not what we're asking. All you say, hey, do you regret anything? Yeah, I do regret some shit. I regret some shit that I've done on here. And you got to be man enough to admit it. Otherwise, you're going to doomed to repeat it. Be like, no, I'm glad I did all those things. Are you glad that you're one of the most hated creators on the platform? Are you? That's cool.
Done differently to make things perfect now. But I think at the end of the day, even if we had done everything right and I made no mistakes in the past, where am I going with this?
Yeah, where are you going with it?
I'm just not a perfect dude. I can't.
Okay, so you admit you're not perfect dude. Cool. Then you can say at the same time, in the same breath, yeah, and there's things I wish I changed. But he's like, no, I'm glad. He's basically saying I'm glad I did all that shit. That's what he's saying, because he can't admit that he was wrong, and that's a huge weakness. And Abby's gonna be like, you know what? It's my hormones that did that.
Expect for myself to be perfect, and so I just need to learn from the mistakes that I have made.
You just said you did.
And I think that at least the season I'm in right now is just really taking on the role of fatherhood and what it means to be a dad.
I don't care.
Okay, if I was in the position right now where we are really struggling to put food on the table for our kids and I need to work, 80 hours a week so that we can just provide for our kids, yeah, that would be totally okay for me to maybe, I wouldn't be spending quality time with them, but I'd be making sure that we're providing food and support for them. But that would just be for a season, right? So I think in life, you just have to really think through what actually matters. And if you have a season of grinding, okay, that's fine, but that comes to a close eventually.
Yeah.
That's wisdom right there.
What are some of the biggest lessons that this season of life is teaching you with parenting? I mean, because you've got...
Have support. Move your parents into your house so they can watch your children while you go skiing.
How old are your kids?
That's what I've learned.
I know.
1 and 2.
So that's...
We have like
Dumb. Now it's just blow smoke up the ass at the end of the podcast type of thing. So that was boring, but it's a couple of really big points in there, and that they don't regret anything they did, and that they're just living their life and making money, and that's the way it is. And Abby is completely caught onto a couple of things that really, really, again, I respect her more than I respect him, but at the same time, Abby, these things are wrong, and yet you're just like, you feel like you have no choice. And also, one of the biggest aha moments of this podcast for me so far was Matt's behaviors. Abby stands up for her husband in her behaviors, and I get that. I understand loyalty to your spouse. I get that. But you don't have to blame yourself on the behavior of your spouse, okay? You'd be like, well, it was my hormones that made him act like a twat. Don't do that either, because you're influencing women to think that way. And another big aha moment was this moment of this social media world that we live in that is literally destroying humanity, right? Am I wrong about that? Because I think I'm right. Are you influenced? Be honest, young ladies out there who watch me, and there's a few of you, okay, who are unmarried and who are looking for love and want that dream life. Are you looking at content online and saying that's what I want? And do you think it exists? Because I'm here to tell you, it doesn't exist. Okay, it is curated, it is fake, and it is made so that they can make money. And they are showing you only the highlights and pretending that it's all real and awesome, and it's really not. And you are being influenced to think that that's what's normal. And it isn't what is normal. Okay? It is really crazy. Are you being influenced and thinking this way, that if a husband does some perceived outrage thing and it's like divorce city because he didn't do the dishes or he went golfing with his buddies and all these things that we see about these wives complaining about their husbands, do you see that? That's really, really dangerous, because humans are messy. And the shit that you are shown on the internet with these couples that you are watching, it is all fake. All of it. And you need to understand that. And that's why we talk about what we talk about here. Stop watching fake shit and thinking it's real, because everything on social media, just assume it's fake. Even if you don't want to, just assume it is and look at it through a lens that this is fake, curated bullshit. And then maybe you'll have an awakening. And I hope you do. And I hope you take a deep breath with me right now. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. I got a big full lid tomorrow. I got some things I've been wanting to talk about forever, but my house is going crazy right now, and it's nuts, and I cannot wait for this damn thing to be over so I can live my life normal and cook a meal in my kitchen. Who's excited with me? You guys are amazing, incredible, and valuable, okay? Stop taking what the internet shows you as fact. It's not true. Do you, find reality, and just know that someone has a crush on you, okay? Because they do. And you look good in those jeans, and I'll see you when I see you.